follow all the latest developments out of Japan. For more on all of this, we go to Greg Palcott, who's standing by at the Haneda Airport in Tokyo tonight. Greg.
Hey, Sean. Yeah, we're at the airport here. Well, people are looking for the exits. In fact, it's not been the greatest 24 hours in this crisis. First Wednesday morning, we saw gas being emitted from reactor 3. That forced the evacuation of workers there. The fear there that the containment vessel was breached. And then reactor 4, yet another fire in that pool holding nuclear rods. The fear there, according to U.S. nuclear regulatory officials, is that, in fact, there was an exposure of those rods, leading to a possible meltdown if that exposure continued. Now, Japan is denying this. They say that it is under control, but we know that they're working feverishly to pump more water into that holding pool at reactor 4. In fact, we've been seeing live video in the past hour of helicopters dumping water into that pool as if it was a forest fire. So they're actually very vigorous about this. This is the beginning, we're seeing, Sean, of a bit of a split between the U.S. and Japan about the seriousness of this crisis. Just announced in the past 12 hours or so, a call from the U.S. Embassy here for all Americans within a 50-mile radius of that complex to leave. Japanese also nervous. We were in the center of Tokyo today. This is a bustling metropolis of 13 million, but at rush hour, it looked like it was Sunday. Few cars on the street, few pedestrians, businesses and shops closed, a run on gasoline, and a run on a lot of food in the stores. Finally, Sean, overshadowed in all this is the huge humanitarian challenge which still remains following the earthquake and the tsunami last Friday. In fact, the survival period right now is just about over, but still rescue and relief efforts go on. The U.S. involved with other countries and Japan just trying to bring help to the people there. There's about 500,000 people that have been evacuated from that quake zone. A lot of different parts to the story, all very difficult, some quite grim. Back to you, Sean.
All right, great. Thank you.
Hey YouTube, how's it going out there? It's Thursday and we're close to getting into another weekend, and not much has changed. In fact, it's getting worse and worse. And that's right, the State Department for the United States has called for all Americans to get out of Japan, especially those within a 50-mile radius of the of ground zero there with the nuclear reactors. And this is a huge, huge deal. And in fact, what they're doing is they are scanning the people for radiation before they get on the plane. And I'm not sure if they're scanning people for radiation when they get back here stateside. I would assume that they are scanning people here that come from Japan on a Japan flight from Japan. I'm sure they're scanning them again for radiation here stateside. Again, this is going to be a real quick video. And the links are going to do the talking for me here. Japan's nuclear crisis deepens as the radiation keeps crews at bay. Now what they've done is they've kind of given up on dropping the water from the helicopter because that's just not working. And it's just an amazing situation right now. And you know, I'm getting a lot of people who are commenting and sending me emails telling me that everything is okay and that the radiation isn't going to reach the mainland. You know, for you people who are doing that, you know, you have no idea what's going to happen. You don't. If you're listening to the mainstream media and you're getting your opinions from the mainstream media because that's what they are saying, well, they're only saying that so there's not a mass panic here at stateside. You have no proof that the radiation isn't going to reach the mainland. It's best to prepare and have the mindset that it will, because even if the radiation falls into the Pacific Ocean, it's going to get into the plant life and the animal life, like the Alaskan salmon and the Alaskan king crab that a lot of Americans eat. Just like in Chernobyl, when the radiation fell onto the grass areas and things like that, the cows ate that grass. The radiation got into the cows. The cows were then milked. The milk was drank. The meat was butchered, and the radiation got into the adults and the children, and they all got cancer. So don't sit here and tell me that no radiation is going to get to the mainland. It is. In one form or another, the radiation is going to get here. So use your head, think wisely, and do your own research. Another thing here is that, you know, they keep on saying that it's a partial meltdown, a partial meltdown. Well, if it's continuously melting down, eventually it's going to get to a full-blown meltdown, okay? Eventually. And here's an article here. Japan radiation peril to U.S. is tiny unless meltdown happens. Well, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about being prepared. We're talking about getting ready. You know, and then another article here. The U.S. is chartering flights to get Americans out of Japan. The U.S. State Department is chartering air flights from several different airlines to get all Americans out of Japan. For all you people who are listening to the mainstream media, you gotta wake up. The links are underneath. Pay attention, people. This is really bad, and it's getting worse every single day.
Are you confident that the Japanese government will be very transparent, very cooperative with the nuclear watchdog of the United Nations, namely IAEA? What do you think of the issue of transparency? Do you think to avoid furthering the impact and the panic that might be caused?
Well, this is you know, sadly the case. I said that the Japanese nuclear program, you hear one of the major builders of nuclear power plants is Toshiba Westinghouse, a U.S.-Japanese joint company. And the problem here is that the United States, when they sent over their planning team, they did not send anyone from their nuclear safety agency or from the Department of Energy. They sent members of the USAID, which is basically intelligence officials. So already the cover-up is going on at very high level in Washington and Tokyo. And the cover-up extends not only to geopolitical issues, to technical issues, but also, you know, we have Misawa Air Base was hit in the affected area in up north Aomori Prefecture. And this is the main espionage reconnaissance base with huge antennas, PC Orion aircraft that China's had.
Very quickly, excuse me, very quickly, what do you think of yes, in relationship with the possible cover-up by the Nawokan authorities, do you think the power base of the current Japanese government will be seriously shaken and the approval rating will drop even further?
Oh, yeah. I mean, just last night, the mayor of Tsuruga City, which is the site of the Monju plutonium breeder plant, and many other officials from other nuclear towns, they protested. They had a meeting with Japan's National Industrial Safety Agency requesting a full investigation and to stop the cover-up. So we have mayors in cities who are openly challenging the Khan government and know what's going on. These people have struggled for years over these issues. And Khan has come out as very weak. His response is that the Japanese people should just stay indoors and hide away. This is no national response. It's the local governors and even our
Thank you very much,
have acted in a better way.
Thanks a lot for your insightful views and your time.